Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you, and I'm going to be showing you here, once again, another 5 versus 5 Counter-Strike Global Offensive match. And this one is going to be the single most requested game you guys have ever sent me here. It is going to be one of the best games ever. That, according to you folks, the Ninjas in Pyjamas, and they will be playing against TeamX. And here they go, both teams are Swedish teams. They are on the knife round right now to determine what side they start in. Of course, they do want that counter-terrorist side first, and it looks like the Ninjas in Pyjamas have won the knife round, so they're going to be able to say that they want to start on the... Oh no, this is terrorist side, because guess what, folks? It is going to be on DE Dust 2, which is a terrorist-sided map. So here they go, getting ready to start. Ninjas in Pyjamas probably calling... And the console says, tell me when ready. Interesting. And there we go. Alright, it looks like the Ninjas in Pyjamas are finally ready to go, and the teams will be starting this game. Here we go. I've got my inbox was absolutely flooded with you guys suggesting this game, saying you have to cast Ninjas in Pyjamas versus TeamX. So here we go. We are starting this game. It's the first half here. Ninjas in Pyjamas will be playing on the terrorist side first, and they are away. And alright, looks like they are going to be doing a long A push. Interesting, Team X is not going to be putting any players at long. They just have Pyth here to hold off long. So he's seen them coming. He should call the rotate at this point. Terrorists are now running all the way through there. They're going to try and cross. They will run right through the smoke, but Pyth takes them both down with excellent headshots with that P2000. Here we go now. Terrorists do have position inside of bomb site A, but they've lost 2 players on the cross. Exist and Freebetter are dead. And these 2 Swedish teams getting ready to butt heads here right away. That was some excellent pistol shooting through the smoke. Very strange. So we have a whole bunch of counter-terrorists here retaking it from long A, the rest coming from short. 1 player left that's just get right. He's just trying to get some frags, and he does take out Pyth. Is the player who got those 2 frags right off the bat, so counter-terrorists will be defusing that bomb, and that's going to be that. And it looks like Team X will be starting this thing 1 point ahead. That's very good for them. Ninjas in Pyjamas not out of it yet. If they can play this second round well enough, they can set themselves up for a bye-round third round. And check this out. Team X has spent all of their money on FAMASes, so they've completely full bought. Usually teams are going to, half buy on this first round just so that they have enough money, then, buy submachine guns so they can get extra frags with it, or extra money for those frags. But Team X, having none of that, instead, they're going to buy completely up. And the danger to that is when Ninjas in Pyjamas finally decides to buy, the weapon advantage will go to the Ninjas in Pyjamas because they'll have that AK-47 up against those FAMASes. So it's an interesting call for Team X to do that. Let's see how it pays off for them. Here's Freebear coming up the middle now with his P250. This is what you want to buy when enemies have helmets. All of these guys should have helmets. A nice vantage point there, but he does go down. Pronax holding it off from inside of the site. And Freebear jumps on him Mario style and takes him down. Exist now in the site. Players are trying to take him down with that P250, and just going to be 4 left. 1 versus 4. He does have players moving in from all sides, and oh, he dies and twitches, and that is going to be that. Team X wins the second round. So Ninjas in Pyjamas didn't get the bomb plant, but they are going to be buying AK-47. And look at this. So the weapon advantage on this round will go to the Ninjas in Pyjamas. They were able to buy full armor and full AK-47s. This will give a huge advantage to them. Team X probably wanted to set up to try to win those first 3 rounds. So we do have the 3-player stack over at long to prevent against a long A push. Long A push did not happen, so the 2 players will rotate back into bomb site A. Terrorists now moving around the map. Ninjas in Pyjamas playing very standard. They're going for picks and they're taking position middle. This is very common for terrorists to do on full buy rounds, is to take complete position at middle, and then from there they can go wherever they want depending upon the picks and what they finally decide to do. So it's a no-tell game from the Ninjas in Pyjamas, meaning Team X will not be able to figure out what they're doing until they hatch their evil plot. Here's Freebetter trying to get picks through the middle. There is 1 player there. He will not be peeking him. wisely waiting back, so it looks like they're going to, decide to go B here. Free batter grabbing that bomb and coming forward. Pronax, the player who's playing mid, waiting for those flashes to get in position for when they push through the smoke, and he takes out Fiflaren there. Here is RDL waiting for these players, and he does take one down, but he is dead now. Is going to be Pronax to hold this off. 2 players left on the terrorist side, and it looks like they have position inside of bomb site B. Here's Get Right watching the window, and just Get Right left. Pyth takes out Forest. Will not be able to get that bomb. They will see him cross, so we shouldn't do that. And he is seen, and he does go down to Pyth. Pyth with a great round there, taking down both of those 2 last players. All right, TeamX now leading it 3-0, very far ahead. And this is interesting because this is a terrorist-sided map, and Ninjas in Pyjamas had the weapon advantage on that 3rd round. So Ninjas in Pyjamas is behind. This is astonishing. You know, you expect Ninjas in Pyjamas to be awesome. They are considered the best team in the world in this game. All right, free batter going for a pick there, but not going to happen. Looks like they will be pushing, so we're going to see the mow down of these saving players. We'll see Lide here with his shooting abilities. This is a shooting gallery for him, like he got those metal ducks coming across there. Oh, and Nade takes out Get Right. Exist actually does take a frag, though. Terrorists now have position inside of A site, so they let him take that, and they will be planting that bomb for the money. That is huge. Pronax now from CT spawn. Free batter jumps down to take him down. Oh, there's another one, and somehow Pronax executes the rest of the players with perfectly paced AK-47 headshots. All right, good round there from TeamX, keeping up their lead, mowing down those poor defenseless terrorists. And here we go now. It is going to be a full buy versus full buy round. Check out their money after they have bought. Terrorists, Ninjas in Pyjamas have spent all their money, but does look like TeamX has tons of money in the bank. Here's Fiflaren for the pick. And 2 players are going to cross. 3 are going to cross through the smoke. Does not get the pick. And Spitfire is actually going to be playing middle with the AWP this time. Very common place for players to play an AWPer is middle. He's able to get position here and see if they're going to be trying to go short A. There is not going to be a fast cat, so nothing to see here. Ninjas in Pyjamas have the bomb set up to take bomb site B. But they've got all other players middle. They can go anywhere. Probably going to be doing a mid to B, so a B split. So this is a distraction here. They send these players up here. They shoot a few shots, and then they're going to be going mid to B. And there's the smoke. That smoke will, of course, block out CT spawn. And perfectly block it out there. The flashes are down, and the players will push through. Defensive flashes coming up over the side. Just going to be Spitfire left with his AWP inside of the site. Terrorist moving in from all sides, and he goes down. The rotate is going to be a difficult rotate. I think at this point, TeamX might give up. And here's Pronax. Pronax expertly shooting Get Right. I've never seen a player shoot like this before. It's actually quite astonishing. And here's Lid. All 3 of these counter-terrorists, they've evened it up, so they are going to try and retake this thing. Bomb has been planted. Bomb timer ticking down. And is going to be Forrest to watch up here in the window, spraying those players down as they come through. But one player, that is going to be Pyth, jumps over his head. Nice shot by Pyth, taking out the last player with 3 frags. Let's get an owl vision on Pyth's heroics as Pronax defuses that bomb with like 2-3 seconds to spare. Alright, Ninjas in Pyjamas definitely in some trouble now. TeamX, their rival Swedish team, surprisingly playing incredibly well. And here's Spitfire picks Forrest through the wall. Okay. Interesting. Here's Get Right flashing over the top. One player's already down. No AWPers on T side. They're not going to be playing a T side AWP this time. They did have Fiflaren doing it on the last round. They do not really, they have the money for it, I guess. And terrorists look like they're planning to go short. They've flashed over everywhere, but if we check this out, they already have position on all these players. Nice shot by Spitfire to hold this off. Both of those players up, they have position. They aren't going to be able to push into the site. Just going to be Exist left. 1 versus 3 on another very important round for Ninjas in Pyjamas. We're now 0-5. So Exist has got to do this. Exist pulls off some crazy clutch boom headshots. So let's see if he can do it here. 1 versus 3. It is Pyth, RDL, and Pronax left. Bomb is up. There's the first one. That's 1. Exist already sitting pretty with 2 frags. And, oh, turns his back, gets shot, and a nade to the face for the death. Team X now, 6 points. 6-0 against the Ninjas in Pyjamas. This is, of course, a terrorist-sided map. Keep in mind, the Ninjas in Pyjamas' strength has always been in their counter-terrorist play. So their terrorist play is a little bit weak, so on a map here that is terrorist-sided, I don't know, you'd think they'd be, once they switch sides, maybe in a little bit of trouble. Ninjas in Pyjamas now down 0-6. That is hard to recover from. But guess what, guys? Team X decides, I know, let's push. They're getting overconfident here. They've already lost a player who pushed up middle. I don't know why that player decided to do that. Here's RDL to hold off a B push. And as the smoke down, there's players now moving. It's going to be a mid to B, so it's just RDL. 1 player versus 5. And he's pre-shooting all of the positions where these players are going to be moving in from him. He is dead now. That was a very good hold-off there. Taking out 2 guys and delaying them long enough for his teammates to rotate. Oh, and Lidda knows where he is planting that bomb, runs in there and takes him down. Now going to be 1 player left. Going to be Forrest. 1 versus 1 here, and it is going to be Spitfire versus Forrest. Forrest sitting at 3 frags, and Spitfire takes him down. Will be defusing that bomb, and Team X keeps up their lead. That was a very, very close take there by the Ninjas in Pyjamas, but unfortunately, Team X now way, way ahead at 7-0. 8-0 is the point where I say, nope, it's over, Ninjas in Pyjamas. You can't do it. But this is... this is crazy. You don't expect to see this to happen here. Ninjas in Pyjamas getting schooled. Here's Forrest with the pick. And 1 player jumps across. There's the smokes. Will prevent him from peeking and picking, and was not able to hit that player. Alright, so we got Spitfire there. What? What was that, man? Spitfire goes over there, pre-shoots. I didn't even see it. And takes out Forrest. Again, Forrest is dead. Crazy. So, one of Ninjas in Pyjamas already picked. Forrest, who, he's one of the best players in the world, if not the best. He's already gone. That's not good for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Looks like they're going to do an A split. We've got Fiflaren here with the op to take long. There is 1 player waiting for him. That's Pyth. He's waiting to listen. Fiflaren is dead. Terrace now to push into the site. 3 versus 5. Probably not going to happen. What? Exist and Freebetter are taking players out. Freebetter with another shot. Freebird once again kills a player. Evens it up now. It is going to be 3 versus 1. Pronax, 1 player left. This might be the round that Ninjas in Pyjamas takes it back. This is not an easy retake. Freebetter with some crazy clutch shooting all over the place. There's a player right there behind the corner. We can see with our X-ray. I know you guys love that X-ray. And we see those players now leaving the site. Pronax will be saving. Trying to shoot those players as they exit the site, but none of them will be exiting. And that will be that. I know a lot of you guys really like the X-ray to be on the entire game. I will try to use it intelligently, but now that we have the mini-map in the upper left, it is possible to see where all of these players are. So, alright, there is an op on the ground. Fiflaren's going to run over and pick that thing up. We'll see if he goes for the pick mid. Spitfire coming back to kill Forrest again. I guess the strategy here on Team X is, I know, let's just kill Forrest every round, and then what are they going to do? And 2 players are able to cross. Not much happened. Two players inside of B. They're making noise. They heard them run lower B. So 2 players now inside of B site. CT's inside of B site to hold it off. And you see that spraying there through the smoke to make sure nobody was hiding in any of those positions. Get right here, making sure no one's hiding behind the corners. They've noticed TeamX is hiding in those positions. Ooh, we have a push here by Pyth, and Pyth takes him down. Just executes. Get right. 1 player picked already on the terrorist side. TeamX being very aggressive. Oh, this is not going to be a good push. There are so many counter-terrorists inside of A site, but it doesn't matter. Ninjas in Pyjamas will be going for it. Spitfire misses his op shots. That is not what he wants to happen. Here's Pronax to try and get the headshots. Spitfire is dead. Pronax goes down. That was a perfect position to hold everything off, but it is not going to happen. All right, 2 counter-terrorists left, and I don't think that there's none. You know, they're going to be able to make anything happen here. There's Exist. RTL takes out Exist. Takes out Forest as well. Pyth sneaks past Faflaren, who's now surprising him from behind. Freebatter, doesn't matter though. Freebatter executes everybody else. Ninjas in Pyjamas with another point. Freebatter actually jumped into CT spawn, almost died with the fall damage. Down to 15 health from that. That would have been embarrassing. Alright, we check out our money now. Both teams doing pretty good. Ninjas in Pyjamas coming back now. Because of the huge lead by TeamX, and now that they're losing rounds, they're going to have a lot of money. So they are able to buy this round, and they will be able to buy the... no, they're saving. Never mind. Will be a full save here. Here's Pyth charging forward. He does get a 1-hit headshot there on Freebatter, but it doesn't kill him because it is a P250 against armored opponents. Here's Pronax taking players down. Oh, no! Exist makes him go boom. Here's some expert P250 shooting here going on at long A. Lida takes a player down, and they are both dead. Freebatter taking down a bunch of defenseless players. We're not going to give them an owl vision there on that 4 frag because they were pistolers. So, a save round. NiP won 2 points and forced TeamX into a save round, now taking 3. And they've got that 3 rounds in a row. It's time for TeamX to try to take this game back. Ninjas in Pyjamas do have the lead. Not able to pick those players as they crossed. That should actually never really happen unless the player, you know, gets some crazy timing and gets lucky. Players who are crossing middle have enough sense to figure out how. Wow, Pyth has got his crosshair right on Get Right. That is crazy. Now he's shooting a little bit to his right. If he shot when he had his crosshair on him for that period of time, would have taken him out. Now he's only taken him down to 77 health. Here is Spitfire in an interesting position through this bar, as you see here. So he's kind of difficult to see. We'll get the vantage point of the terrorists when they decide to push through here. And looks like terrorists now will be pushing at bomb site A. Here is Pronax in timeout. He has been a naughty, naughty boy. Now he does this so he can listen left and right. Also so he's not seen. If you face a player, the head's bigger. He looks more menacing if you face him. So he's going to stay in the corner and then flip out when he hears the players coming. And he has awoken! The beast is awake. Pronax now getting ready to go execute some ninjas in Pyjamas. And he's allowing Spitfire to sort of peek it. You know, he's waiting in this position till NiP goes a little bit more forward. Their Forest is right there. Forest tries to, you know, peek the player. Here's Faflaren with his op in position. And Pronax going after Faflaren. Faflaren gets it. 1 versus 4. Spitfire takes him out through the wall. And that's going to be that. TeamX takes back the game. All right, TeamX now well ahead at 8 points to 3 on Dust 2 CT side. Does not look good for the Ninjas in Pyjamas. Ninjas in Pyjamas need to start pulling off some strategies. And there's an Opper getting ready to peek. Oh, Faflaren just misses the timing. That is Spitfire here, waiting for players to go short A. And Get Right runs long and gets picked here by Pyth. 2 players have pushed inside of B. Tunnels are pushing Exist and take him down. TeamX playing a very, very aggressive counter-terrorist side. They're pushing all over the place. Usually they just throw those defensive smokes like we have here at long. Pyth getting the position there, doing a great shot on the free batter, forcing these players to fall back. Look at that, he sprays all the bullets out of the gun with tap shooting and then picks up the next gun on the ground and keeps shooting. Lovely. Now, terrorists, ninjas in pajamas in a bad position. If they lose this, they'll probably have to save. And Faflaren, people are shooting at him from who knows where. We saw a round go like right next to him. I don't know who shot at him. That was weird. Must have been the player middle. Alright, here is Forrest. Getting ready to peek at B. There is a player there. That is a headshot position. Player is ducking. Flash will not hit Forrest, but the player is not peeking. And here's Faflaren over at middle still. Forrest still going for this headshot position. Player is not up yet. Alright, looks like Pyth has got behind Faflaren. He will fall back over here to Forrest position. 15 seconds left. They have to push. And it looks like they might be saving here. They will not get money if they save. That'll put themselves in a really awkward buy position. Alright, here's Faflaren inside of, T-spawn. Pyth is moving in on him, though. And it will be a save. Ninjas in Pajamas will save a Galil and an op for the next round. Now we check out their money. Their team will be able to buy. So what they've done from that is they've milked out another buy round here. Ninjas in Pajamas will be buying. They do not have full, flashes and nades and such because Faflaren and Forrest bought with all of their money on the previous round. And they don't get any money if they save. Nice. Faflaren finally gets the pick. So this is going to be a good round for Ninjas in Pajamas. Those first few seconds on Dust 2 are crucial. Because immediately the map is split in two. You can see who crosses where, or you throw a smoke. It's a great map in that respect. First few seconds are crucial. Ninjas in Pajamas still can go anywhere, but this is how they set up when they are going A. You can always rotate back and go B, but it looks like they are going to try and take A, which would be smart because there's no counter-terrorists inside of A at this period of time. Free batter is faking a B, a mid to B. So at the same time he pushes through middle, we have Forrest here, moving up and taking bomb site A. It was a smart fake. There's only 2 counter-terrorists left, and one of them here is inside of CT spawn. This is a fish in the barrel position. It's a death trap. Perfectly timed nade. Will hit Faflaren. And his buddy goes down. Just going to be LDR left. Ooh, he takes out Forrest with a nice shot, but he is so dead. Ninjas in Pajamas taking back a round. There are now 2 rounds left in this half of this game. TeamX at 9 points. That is great. They are well ahead. However, Ninjas in Pajamas will be able to buy on this round. And if TeamX loses this, they'll have to save, half buy for the last round. That's not going to be good for them. So TeamX wants to win this and put themselves up at that 10-point mark. Ninjas in Pajamas. Faflaren does not get the pick. It's a bad omen here for Dust 2 as they've been playing. They do have those 4 points. Once they get to CT side, that's where their strength starts to shine. So do not count the Ninjas in Pajamas out just yet. Free batter by himself here over at middle. Terrorists can go any way that they want. And waiting for a player to peek him. That is going to be an opper here at short inside of this sneaky position. It's a weird looking position. Fiberi is of course the entry fragger of the team. He always goes in first. He's going to be a distraction here at middle. They are going to be doing this. It is going to be a mid to B. Smoke is down and Pronax runs through the smoke. And Terrorist will have bomb site B. Lid runs through the smoke as well and dies. Here's Pyth and Spitfire. Running through smoke is usually death. We've seen TeamX be very, very aggressive, and it has paid off for them. Now there's Faflaren, just misses Spitfire, who runs by far enough to get behind that pillar. And he's got his buddy Pyth in position here. They're going to have to go for this. And is a 2 versus 4. Good shot, taking that player down. And Spitfire goes down. Pyth might decide to grab that op and save. 2 terrorists moving in on him, though. And he will be falling back. Get right, moving in to intercept, and he does it. Takes out Pyth through the door with some AD spray. And that's that. We're moving on to the last round. That's just the way that Get Right plays. If you ever watched Get Right, who is considered the best shot just because he won that competition for best shot on the AIM map. Strafes back and forth and fires that weapon. So look at this. We do have counter-terrorists forced to buy light on the last round. It's unfortunate for them. This will probably go to the Ninjas in Pyjamas. Oh, what? Pyth. Oh, nice timing there by Fiflaren, making sure to catch him when he tried to grab that weapon. So, counter-terrorists in a bad position. Not looking too good for them. Probably going to go to Ninjas in Pyjamas, and that'll end this half. Not too bad for the Ninjas in Pyjamas. They will still be behind. But at the same time, it's not as bad as we originally thought. So RDL's got a 1v4 with a P250. Not going to happen. Ninjas in Pyjamas gets back to 6 points. That is okay. They're not out of it yet, and we're moving on to the second half here. Looks like it's going to be a fast team switch. So WarOwl gets no break. Here we go, right back into the action. Ninjas in Pyjamas now is in their element. CT side. They are behind. TeamX now at 9 points. We'll see how they play this. They had players spawned. They're playing spawns. RDL spraying through the middle at those players who pushed. They are in a good position to push forward and take bomb site B. Here they go now with the pistols. Very fast in here, blitzkrieging it. Players getting shot all over the map. Counter-terrorist trying to rotate Forest. Jumps into the site, has bought a P250 first round. Just going to be Fiflaren left. 1 versus 3. One of them is so low, though, that nade will not hit the player. And one player down at 3 health. This is not an easy take. No reason to save a P250. Alright, let's see if he can do it. This pistol round will be very important for TeamX. It'll put them so far ahead, winning both of the pistol rounds. Alright, Fiflaren. Flash over the top. And he does go down to Pyth. Pyth, who is playing absolutely amazing in this game. Pyth and Pronax there, the guys with the crown in their avatar, have been really excellent shots. Here we go. Swedish versus Swedish. 2 Bizones, an MP7 there, and an AK-47 for mid on Pyth. Pyth had enough money for it. And it's going to be the same exact strategy. Players will be pushing forward at B. Get Right has bought a shotgun. I don't know how much that is going to aid him. Exist in the site. They do go down. Terrorists do have position now. Counter-terrorists in some trouble. They'll probably have to save next round as well. Let's check out that money. Pretty far behind. They haven't really gotten any frags. Haven't made anything happen. Get Right's job is to kill players and get money. That's how it happens. Alright, Fiflaren's in a bad position here. We've got Lid getting ready to mow him down with his buy zone. Not an easy retake. No reason to save for the Ninjas in Pyjamas. So it looks like their goal here is to kill people who are leaving the site. And there is a huge way to get out here. Through T-spawn. And all of them will get out. Ninjas in Pyjamas will not be able to pick up any frags. And they're going down. Here's Get Right with his shotgun. He will survive, but so will all 5 of Team X. Perfect round. Get Right's got his shotgun. Ninjas in Pyjamas will not be able to buy. It's looking very bad for them. That'll put Team X at 12 points. Twice as many as Ninjas in Pyjamas. On T side, it is sided. Ninjas in Pyjamas have to put up perfect walls of defense now. It is looking very, very bleak. Alright, so all, 3 players cross at mid. Fiflaren stays inside of CT spawn. Because of that, Terrorists will send 3 players at long to go for picks. We have 2 players in the other positions just for positional advantage. Here they go now. They've smoked the cross, and they will be taking bomb site A. And Pyth, whose job was to kill rotators, is now in position to kill 3 of them. There's 2. Well, he's killed 2 players. An excellent pistol shot there. That will give an AK-47 to the counter-terrorists. So we have Exist now with a AK-47, and Forrest going for that shotgun. and it looks like they're just going to let them have this. They're not going to go for it. Is a 2 versus 4. Okay, so Forrest is going to go for it just because he didn't grab a gun. I don't think he has that shotgun. Maybe he doesn't want to use it, would rather use the P250. Still, he just wants to kill a player as he tries to leave the site, but the players are probably all going to go long since they already have position at long. So this is Lid here, and he'll be leaving the site and going long. Oh, just almost put himself in a position to fight with Forrest. Forrest may go grab that shotgun. Nope. But Ninjas in Pyjamas now will be able to full buy on this next round. Check out all of that money. Here they go now. They are down on a scale of 2 to 1. Ninjas in Pyjamas failing this thing. TeamX very far ahead. All right, let's see where Fiflaren plays. Let's see where they put their AWPer. I want to see how the Ninjas in Pyjamas are setting up on CT side. So right off the bat, they put Fiflaren here at long A to go for a pick. Nobody is long A, and it is going to be a B push here from Team X. Free better to hold this off. Oh, there's a pick. Takes a player down as he tries to move into the site. Lots of shooting going down there. Forrest taking players as well. Player tries to rotate from the back, and he does. Fiflaren takes him out, though. Exist now in position. Just going to be one player left. That is going to be Spitfire, and Exist shoots him through the smoke with a very nice shot. He did that shot by using the radar. Ninjas in Pyjamas very, very quickly takes out Team X. That was an execution. Team X ran into the fire. And there's an AK-47. Exists like, you guys want that? I want that. You guys want that? That's mine. It's mine. I shall cherish this weapon. AK-47, definitely the best weapon in the game. Unless you're an AWPer. Then the AWP is the best weapon in the game. So players will always grab that AK-47 instead of that M4. It is a one-hit headshot kill. That is the reason. M4 takes 2 shots to an armored opponent in the head. And Exist there. There's a headshot position. Not able to kill that player. Pyth still waiting there. Very patiently for Exist to peek out once again. I think that Pyth did see Exist. Terrorists now set up. Not very aggressive. They played CT side very aggressively, but they're not playing terrorist side very aggressively. And he does have a smoke to block off the CT spawn, but that's not going to do much because Exist has already moved through there, and Forrest is already middle. Forrest trades himself, but the timer is ticking down. 50 seconds left. Terrorists are going to have to commit to something pretty soon, and they're going to be committing to a bomb site B push. It's going to be Free Bear inside of the site. There's an excellent shot. Through a box. Oh, whoa! Spitfire with an excellent shot. Now just going to be Fiflaren left. Terrorists have position inside of B. Could it be that Ninjas in Pyjamas are going to fall further behind here? Or will Fiflaren pull something out of his hat and clutch this round? And there's the flash over the side. We'll be going for it. That flash will affect nobody. They know where he is. They know where he's coming from. Oh, great shot! Now a 1 versus 1 against Spitfire, and pulls out the pistol, and he's out of ammo completely. He's got to go for this bomb timer ticking down, and Spitfire will take down Fiflaren. That is going to be that. Team X now so far ahead at 13 points, putting themselves in the position to full out win this game. Ninjas in Pyjamas says, screw that. We'll be buying here on a round where they're forced to buy FAMASes. They do not have the full nades and smokes for this. They will smoke one middle to make them, say, hey guys, we have smokes, but they do not. If we look here on the right, they just have just a little bit left. Just Get Right has stuff. They've already thrown everything. So this round is going to greatly favor Team X. Ninjas in Pyjamas doing a force buy. They've spent all of their money. They are definitely going for this. We hear some peeking and picking and all kinds of stuff going on over here as middle. 2 players playing middle, Forest and Exist. Middle, pretty vulnerable position once you throw that smoke to block off CT spawn. And here is Forest playing middle. Forest and Exist both pick players. Players now moving into bomb site B. Here's Free Bear around the corner. Whoa, that was a nice shot. Shoots a player who tried to jump up on the boxes in the head as he popped up. That was one of the most excellent shots I've ever seen by Free Bear. All right, Ninjas in Pyjamas win that round. It looked bleak. Forest sticking with this FAMAS. Not going to be upgrading. And they do have the money to do so. They will instead buy those nades and flashes. TeamX will be forced to save. No reason to upgrade. Probably, yeah, they know. They have to know at this point that TeamX is forced to save here. They're at 13 points. That's okay. There's no reason for them to full out not save. And it is now time for Get Right to mow down a bunch of defenseless terrorists. Nope, terrorists will be going the other way, so we're flying back over to Exist and Forest, who are playing middle. I love this setup by Ninjas in Pyjamas. They set up 2 players at middle, and they've got Get Right to watch Bomb Site A. Alright, it is going to be Get Right's mow down. No, Forest comes in here and steals a few kills. 2 kills. And now Get Right's time to shine. Pulls out the pistol. We see Forest jump on top of that player and Mario him. That was embarrassing for TeamX. I mean, it was a full save round, but when players are jumping on top of your head, I don't know, a little embarrassing. Ninjas in Pyjamas coming back now. And, oh, that was bad. TeamX just double saved. That is a very poor use of money to have to double save. They just saved 2 rounds in a row. Ninjas in Pyjamas not expecting a save. They are going to be playing this very standard. They send 2 players here over at long A, rotating Get Right back to watch at short, and there's Forest at middle, holding players down. Get Right helping from the vantage point, and they all get mowed down. Forest now tied in frags with Freebetter, who is playing an excellent game here. Alright, TeamX now at 13 points. Ninjas in Pyjamas coming back because of that double save. And even after the double save, it looks like TeamX will spend all of their money. So this is a very important round. They got messed up economy-wise. That messed them up. They lost 2 rounds, probably 2 rounds that they shouldn't have because of the economy. So TeamX now, they only need to win 3 more rounds to win this game, but Ninjas in Pyjamas, who we all but discounted, are coming back. Look at that position that Mr. Exist is in up here. That's that boost position to watch mid. Fight going on here with Get Right at long. 3 players standing outside of long. Yeah, this position that Exist is in, usually players will hop up and look middle, and it'll give it away. Exist instead is waiting for them to have to push through middle. Okay, RDL takes a flash, will not be able to push here. Get Right still waiting for him at a forward position, not allowing him to even peek through this doorway. Alright, some fighting going on at middle. Exist and Pyth there trade for each other. And it will be an A push here. So this player here at long, RDL, will push through here in just a few seconds. Probably once the flashes and smokes come through here. And this is Spitfire, who's going for the pick before this push. If he gets the pick, they will push. And 26 seconds left. Timer is going down. RDL actually picks Get Right. Now will be pushing at long. And takes out Faflaren, looking good for TeamX. Just going to be Freeberg left. 1 versus 4. Freeberg is playing one of the best games here, though. He's playing better. And he dies. He gets shot in the head by Spitfire with an op. That is overkill. That does like 300 damage. Killed him 3 times over. Poor Freebear. Buried at sea. We barely knew ye. TeamX now 14 points. Looking good. Getting ready to win this thing. And here's Spitfire watching middle. Ninjas in Pyjamas have to mount an epic comeback at this point. They just lost that economic momentum. If they lose this game, they might have to save another game. And they can't save another game because that would mean that TeamX won. And their opper's dead. So this is it. Ninjas in Pyjamas have to win at this point. Get Right picks up the op off of his fallen comrade in arms. And we'll be watching long A in a position... Oh, this is... Never mind. I thought it was he was scoping, so he was opping. But no, Get Right's crazy. He likes to use the auto sniper. Okay, now it's looking bad. Now it's looking bad for the Ninjas in Pyjamas. The single best team in Counter-Strike Global Offensive here. Won countless tournaments. Countless games. For the longest period of time, they were undefeated in anything. Ninjas in Pyjamas now looking like they're going to get beat by another Swedish team. This is it. Terrorists have position in A. They're planting that bomb. Counter Terrace in a bad position. Forest going over here to pick up Lid, whose job it was to kill those rotators. Freeberg takes him. Now a 3 versus 4. Bomb has been planted. Definitely not an easy retake. Alright, here's Forest inside of CT spawn. Exist and Freeberg going to be pushing at short A. Not going to happen though. Pyth is waiting for it. Just Exist left. 1 versus 4. 1 health left. Probably not going to happen. Bomb timer ticking down and he will die. Oh no. TeamX is now at 15 points. 1 more point to win. All chips are on the table. Poor team Ninjas in Pyjamas will have to spend all the money they have, but this looks like it's going to be it here. Get right, buying this FAMAS. We got FAMAS players. They do not have all of the smokes and flashes that they would like. Looking very bleak for the Ninjas in Pyjamas. Oh, there's some players over there at long. TeamX only has to win 1 more round, and they have 5 rounds to do so. Get right in for Flaren, watching long. There are players at long. There's some pre-picking going on there. Get right, pre-shooting the position. Terrace now have position to take long A. It is completely defenseless, and they're getting ready to do that. Okay, here's Forest now, who's moved into position at the to shoot headshots at players who move short A. Spitfire there with his AWP. And we have a fight going on at long A as well, but I don't want to pull off of this. And players have not yet pushed anywhere. Looks like they are setting up to take bomb site A with 1 player left behind to go for rotators. Oh, there are players trying to rotate to take bomb site A. The rotate should be called at this point. Counter Terra should start streaming over to bomb site A. They've left behind Exist here at middle just in case. And Forest now making sure these players can't take short A. They all do go down. Ninjas in Pyjamas holds it against the odds. TeamX now, only 4 rounds left to win this thing at 15 points. Keep in mind, Ninjas in Pyjamas could win the next 4 rounds and push it into an overtime. But that doesn't look very probable. Here is Spitfire now with an AWP at the cross, not hitting anybody. And Terrace will be pushing at long A. Here is Gidright. Gidright goes down right away. Will be Flaren. He is the player who is left. Terrace see an opportunity to break through the dam here. Looking very bad. A 5 versus 3. Here's Forest. Forest is now down. Is going to be Freeberg and Exist. This is for the game. 2 players versus 5, and they have to go for it. Freeberg and Exist. Here they go. We've seen Exist pull out some crazy clutches here. Usually they send Freeberg in there first, but Exist is coming in here first this time. All 5 players in the site. Perfect bounce of the nade. Takes out Pyth, who's hiding behind the boxes. Bomb has been planted. Timer ticking down. Counter Terrace trying to take the site. Freeberg jumping up on top. It is dead. It is going to be just Exist left. He's got an ace for it. Going to be trying to ninja defuse that. 2 seconds left. Terrace are spraying all over the place. And he does get it. That is Exist. Keeping his team in this game. Absolutely incredible there. We saw him throw that smoke just moments ago, or was it Freeberg? And that smoke allowed him to move in there and ninja defuse that bomb. That was for the game right there. Incredibly close. Ninjas in Pyjamas wins it. Allows themselves to live just again another round. Now going to be 3 rounds left for TeamX to win this thing. And it looks like they're getting ready to push at B site. Wow, that really looked like it was game there. I thought it was over. I thought Ninjas in Pyjamas just lost another game, which they rarely do. But they are back in it. They have guns. They'll be able to buy for the rest of the game. I know that. I know that for certain. They can't save because then they'll lose. Alright. Terrorists. Precious seconds dwindling away. They are setting up to push B. They have the bomb set up there inside of B tunnels. Here's Freebear to hold it off. Also going to have Exist in position to pull in here. Flaren picks off the player who is going for rotators. Terrace now pushed back into B tunnels. All 4 of them are in there. They're getting ready to push. Is going to have to be a hold off here by Freeberg and Exist. Nope, terrorists have decided they're not going to do that. They're going to pull back, and they will be going... I don't know where they're going, but there's GetRight coming in from behind. He does go down. And here's Fiflaren. He's got one shot in this thing. Oh, and he looks away. Here's Forrest now. Oh, a player drops down right in front of him. That was unwise. Terrorists now will be trying to take the bomb site. Here's Fiflaren watching at long A. There is one player there. He does go down. Is going to be just Forrest in position. Two players now pushing at short A. Here comes Freeberg and Exist. Exist leading the way again. We saw this happen last round. Only this time they do have Forrest in position. So they have a little bit of a better chance. Here is Forrest here. One of the best players in the game. Freeberg taking picks as well. Only one player left. He's inside of the pit, but it doesn't matter. That was a bad plant, and Freeberg will be able to defuse that thing. If they planted that bomb in a proper position, TeamX may have won that round. Right here is a proper position if players are at long. Another proper position is right here. This is called a safe plant because you're able to plant it without players looking at you. Instead, they planted it up front here, which is interesting. And they had a player inside of the pit. What was the point of the player in pit if they didn't have the bomb planted for long? I don't know. TeamX letting it slip away. Ninjas in Pyjamas, only 2 rounds left. It's starting to seem a little more possible here. Money dwindling away from TeamX. They've lost so many rounds in a row now. Ninjas in Pyjamas are holding it off. They've found their groove. There's a bunch of smokes going down. 3 of them in a row, preventing Fiflaren from doing anything here, from seeing anything. GetRight is still inside of pit, though, holding it off by himself. 4 players there waiting outside of long A. Terrorists are just sort of picking places and then pushing, hoping to get lucky here. And here's GetRight waiting for them. They're hoping to get picks. One of their players is already picked, though. And they're just being so timid here. Victory just a stone's throw away. They are able to take out GetRight, though. So now they have long. Ninjas in Pyjamas should position themselves now to account for the death of their fallen comrade. Fiflaren trying to hold it off does go down. So here we go. Once again, the retake of Bomb Site A by Forrest, Freebear, and Exist. And this has killed TeamX every single time. There's Forrest spraying through the smoke there to kill those players as they try to go plant that bomb, and they will get that bomb planted. Nobody to deal with that. And once again, here we go. It is going to be the retake here. The three guys of the Ninjas in Pyjamas. And 2 of them are going long this time. That's new. They did not do this last time or any time before that. And the player at long does go down. Players now moving in to take the site. Here is Exist at short, positioning himself to take both of those players out. Exist with some brilliant shooting, kills both of them with body shots. Will be defusing that bomb for the win. Ninjas in Pyjamas setting themselves up at 14 points. Now 1 point away from pushing this into an overtime. TeamX, this is the last round they have to nail the final nail in the coffin on Ninjas in Pyjamas. Unfortunately for them, Ninjas in Pyjamas are coming back. I don't know, I think it may be nerves or something like that. This high stakes, high level competition here against the Ninjas in Pyjamas, but they are starting to crack. They are not doing this as well as they were playing earlier, and a player already picked. That is not good. Spitfire gets picked as well. Fiflaren not letting anybody push there. They tried to pick Fiflaren twice in the same position. Lightning does strike 2 times in the same position, and that is Fiflaren. Alright, and they're going to be pushing at short A once again. This is it for the game. Match point. Moving into the site. 2 players are dead, and we do have once again the retake here, but this time Fiflaren is up. The Opera is alive, and they do have Bomb Site A, so another Bomb Site A retake. Oh, no! Players drop down. What was that? Drop down into fire, and Exist and Freeberg easily clean that up. I don't know what they were thinking there. TeamX is dead, and that will push this thing into an overtime. That was a GG. Both teams throwing down the GGs. And here we go now. First half of the overtime. Alright, looks like they are now moving into the overtime after some delay. I don't think that the admins knew what they were doing. Same sort of stuff was happening at the beginning of this. It was very strange. They actually had to be told at the beginning to do the knife round, which was weird. And alright, so here we go now, moving into the overtime of this great game. So how overtime works, you get 10,000 buy money right at the start. And, wow, this is interesting. Our maps are a little bit messed up, but that is okay. We shall deal with it. 10,000 start money right at the start. And you have 3 rounds on each side. If you tie once again, you move into double overtime. You tie that, you move into triple overtime. You tie that, tons and tons of overtime. So here we go. And it will be Team X playing on the terrorists' side first. And looks like they are going to flash over the top here and allow RDL to move into the site. But he does get smoked out. He will be moving through the smoke, though. Get right inside of Pit. Smoking and flashing. I think he knows that RDL got out there. RDL is here at long A. Flashing over. Get right. He knows where Get Right is. Nice little duel going on here between RDL and Get Right. That nade will do some damage. No, Get Right moves out of the way. And looking good here. Oh, Get Right gets back into the pit. What they're doing here is they're delaying. They don't actually have to get the pick. Oh no, RDL takes out Flaren, takes out Get Right, and Terrorists now will be pushing, and it looks like they actually will be pushing over here at Bomb Site B. So they have Bomb Site B. It is just going to be Forrest left. There is a player right there, and he's not shooting him because he does not see him because there is smoke. Oh, one player is behind him. Great game sense there by Forrest. He heard the player creeping around behind him, moved back and took him out. So it's now a 1 versus 5, and ace for the win here for Forrest here on this very, very important round for the Ninjas in Pyjamas. And they've been coming back. They've been getting back into this thing. They just won the last 1,000,000 rounds in a row. They just lost the first round of overtime. That's not good. Team X now starting this thing 1 point ahead. Pay no attention to this. All right. Ninjas in Pyjamas now. Still able to buy. Check out that money. If it moves on to the 3rd round, they will be kind of screwed, so they have to win this. Otherwise, they'll have to, once again, get 3 points, push it into an overtime. So we got a bunch of terrorists now, pushing forward at B, just making some noise. They've dropped the bomb, and they will be going for picks. It is a pick round here from these terrorists, which is interesting, because counter-terrorists do not save on the 2nd round of overtime. And here's RDL taking a few shots from Forrest before Forrest goes down. And Pyth goes down as well. T's are now pushing through middle. They will be doing a split at B. Counter-terrorists have to hold this off. Here's Get Right. Oh, holding it off expertly inside of that smoke, but Pronax takes him down. He does trade himself. Will now be a 3 versus 3. Here's Freeberg inside of the site. And we do have Flaren coming in from behind. Terrorists now are at middle. They can still go anywhere. Wow, Exist takes a player down through the wall. Flaren falls back and will be going long A to A. So they've set up just in case the terrorists go anywhere. And they will be going at short A. So here's Flaren to hold off the push. 2 of them left. Ninjas in Pyjamas in a very good position to take a point here in this overtime on CT side. But Flaren kind of falls back though. Terrorists are now inside of A and they have position. That's unfortunate. Flaren could have stayed there and went for it. Player is planting. Oh, good spray down. Does not take that player down inside of the smoke. And Exist and Freeberg coming here from the other side to take down this last player. That was easy. Freeberg executes him as he is going after Flaren. They will be defusing this bomb once they find it. That was confusing. And Ninjas in Pyjamas taking 1 point here. It is now 1-1. And if we check out the money, both teams should be able to full buy once again. And they will. So this is a very important round right here to determine who goes into the next half of this overtime 1 point ahead. That's going to be very important. You only need 4 points to win the overtime, 3 points to tie it. Flaren watching middle, and it will be a whole bunch of players. It will be a fast cat, actually. A lot of players getting ready to push cat, so it'll be a split A. At least that's what they are setting up to do. They can still do anything at this point. So here's Get Right waiting for them. They got a whole bunch of players waiting for them. Forrest getting back into that headshot position from CT spawn. That position where he can watch middle at the same time as he watches short A. But it will be a short A. Forrest gets smoked out. Smart play there by Team X. One of their players does jump into CT spawn. Two of them actually jump into CT spawn. I don't know how smart that was. And all of the counter-terrorists are rotating back over to B side. Here they come now to do a retake on bomb site A, which has been taken. The Flaren here still watching at long A. He is at the sneaky position so that he is not seen from bomb site A. And the bomb has been planted. Players will have to retake it. Here comes Forrest. Get right from the other position. And three of them still up inside of the site. Looks good for the Ninjas in Pyjamas to retake this, but oh no, Python Spitfire take out two players. Now going to be a 1 versus 2, but it's exist. Anything could happen. 1 versus 2. Bomb timer ticking down. Spitfire at 3 frags. Takes down Spitfire. Fake defusing that bomb. Python's got the peak. And Exist goes down. TeamX now at 2 points. Moving on to the second half of the first overtime. Very good half. Very close round. And the teams now will switch, putting Ninjas in Pyjamas onto Terrorist side. And we saw how poorly they did at that on that first half of the first, non-overtime, the actual game. So here they are now back onto the Terrorist side. Long game, though. These games can theoretically go on forever. However, that has not happened yet. I believe one game went on for a few hours. Here's for fun. Not in CSGO. That was the original Counter-Strike where that happened. Alright, here comes Ninjas in Pyjamas. Did go for a pick at B, but he got smoked out with a defensive smoke. They will not be able to push through at B. So they will take mid. Going for picks around the map. Dust 2 is a map where you can pull off some crazy strategies, set up middle as terrorists, and really do whatever you want, and go anywhere you want. But terrorists are set up to take bomb site B. It seems like they're just waiting for those smokes to clear, but we did have Pyth come in from behind and execute Get Right, pushing through at long. That was what TeamX did so successfully on that first half, was they were able to be very aggressive against the Ninjas in Pyjamas. And there's Forrest taking a pick of the player who got behind him and was inside of T-spawn. 40 seconds left. They have to commit to this push to B. Alright, so it looks like Exist is going to push through middle. There are 3 players at middle waiting for them. Ninjas in Pyjamas has got to go now. 30-second marker has been reached. No picks here from Flaren. They have to push. Timer ticking down. They so have to go for it. Here's Forrest in a forward position. Great shot by Forrest, taking out RDL through the wall. And they will have bomb site B. Counter-terrorists are all inside of middle there, streaming into bomb site B. Trying to plant that bomb, but there was a player there. Exist. Nice game sense to know that Pronax was behind him. Is able to get that bomb planted. Forrest executing a player. Now just one player left. That is going to be Spitfire with his op. Not much that he can do. He's got to get past Forrest to get into the site. Forrest flashes and then comes around to come from the other side. Here is Exist. Forrest will drop down now and take him down. Exist was the distraction there. They went 2 at a time to go and take him down. Forrest with a brilliant round. Ninjas in Pyjamas won that first round. They now have to win 2 rounds to win this overtime. They're at 2 points. TeamX also at 2 points with 2 rounds left. So the team to win this thing has got to win the next 2 rounds. Otherwise, it'll push it into another overtime. And counter-terrorists, a little bit weak at B. Maybe it is that the Ninjas in Pyjamas have found the weak point of Team X on CT side, and it may be B. So they're waiting for all of these defensive smokes to clear so that they can go wherever they want. A little bit of fighting going on at long. Get Right throwing a flash. I think all of this is just to make noise. Get Right waiting for a player in his rotate position. Get Right's the player the Ninjas in Pyjamas usually send to go take out rotators. They sit him back behind as they go from the other side. Because Team X has been sending a player through long A, they have Get Right to pick him if he tries that nonsense again. Here is the smoke for CT spawn. Will bounce nicely right over there, and they will be doing a split into bomb site B. So here's Freeberg leading the entry fragger of destiny, and he does go down. And I don't think that they're actually going to be pushing here. No, instead they will fall back and try to take bomb site A. All right, just 3 players left. Exist only at 1 health. 30 seconds left, and they will be falling back to try to take bomb site B. And here is RDL to hold them off. All right. 20 seconds left. They have to push right now. Get Right is now dead. Exist at 1 health, and they're creeping into the bomb site. They want to get this bomb down so they can have money for this last round. Exist goes down. RDL taking down. No, RDL does go down. Going to be just for Flare and left. 3 seconds. Not enough time to plant, and the counter-terrorists will win, putting TeamX back into the match point position. Last round of the first overtime, an incredibly close game. These two Swedish teams playing very well against each other. And here's Faflaren to pick the middle. Spitfire, who has caught the drop on Faflaren a few times. And there's the smoke. Both of them get across quite expertly there. That was a brilliant, brilliant cross. Exist making noise at B. Going lower, making sure nobody pushes at B. They know that TeamX plays aggressively, so they're setting up to deal with that aggression and picking positions. Terrorists trying to take position at mid. There's nobody playing middle, so they will be able to do so. The smoke is out, so now they can push forward. And they have position. From here they can do anything. They've got the bomb pretty far back. And that is Faflaren with the bomb going over the B side. Freeberg maybe going for a pick here. At the bomb site, another player throws a support flash for him to get through here. Pre-shoots a few positions, nobody is there, and they will be committing to this split B. So it is going to be the hold off here. Here is RDL from behind the headshot box. And this is generally an AWPer position. He has been smoked out. Terrorists now will be streaming through. They are already at B site. RDL waiting for him to go through at the window. Getting shot. Players now moving in from both positions. This is a difficult position to be with. He does go down. Ninjas in pajamas waiting for these players. Here is Get Right from above. Death from above. Taking him down is Spitfire and Lid left. And they are going for it. They have to go for it here. If Ninjas in Pajamas wins this, it pushes it into another overtime. Just Spitfire left, and he goes down. Ninjas in Pajamas now tying it 3-3, and we will go into yet again another overtime. Overtime Part 2. Overtime will resume in 1 second, and here we go. Ninjas in Pajamas now on the T side first. Admins restart. Never mind, and it is live. It's live, live, live. Yes, it is going. And that is Swedish. I cannot read Swedish, unfortunately. All right. Oh, Pronax gets opt through the middle, down to 19 health. He was either legs or got shot through the wall. All right, terrorists making a lot of noise over at bomb site B. Now we'll be pushing forward to go take A. So that was, of course, the fake out. Oh, but we do have one player pushing through behind them. He is actually dead. These numbers are completely incorrect. Terrorists now at the middle. Can go anywhere. Alright. Terrorists still can go anywhere, and it looks like they will be taking short A. And here they go now with that bomb. There are no counter-terrorists in there to deal with them. Both of them have moved over here to bomb site B. This is going to put Ninjas in Pajamas ahead here at the start. Good shot by Spitfire. Lovely little op battle there. And terrorists now have position at bomb site A. And we'll be planting that bomb. It's a difficult retake. 2 versus 3. Usually doesn't happen. Spitfire and Lid to do this. But what are they doing? Will they be saving? In an overtime, yes, and TeamX will be saving here, first round of the overtime, giving this first round to Ninjas in Pajamas. This will mean that they'll probably be able to buy on the third round no matter what happens. So good on them, and that will be this round. Ninjas in Pajamas starting it up 1 point on T side, which of course has been their bane throughout this. Not able to do a very good enough job on T side to take TeamX out. TeamX has always been ahead in this thing, but now, for the first time, Ninjas in Pajamas is ahead. I actually believe, yeah, this is the first time in this entire huge, long, ridiculous game, we're in the double overtime now, that Ninjas in Pajamas has actually been ahead. So there they are up 1 point. Looking good for them. And here are the players to cross at middle. They're able to get by safely with that expert cross where they're not even seen at all. Pronax playing the middle. Terrace setting up his middle as well, trying to take it. We do have a little bit of a stack here at short A. 2 players at short just in case. They're getting ready to surprise these Terrace, but here's Exist to deal with these guys. A headshot position. Nades coming in there to Exist, and both of those counter Terrace do fall back wisely. So they will give them middle. It is now 1 minute and 10 seconds. Ninjas in Pyjamas will be rotating to take long A. Here is Pyth to hold this off. We should see a smoke come down here where Pyth is standing to allow Terrace to cross. But it will be a take at bomb site A. No. Terrace now made a bunch of noise moving over there at long. Will be pulling back middle. They are going all over the place. This is an around the world to end all of the around the worlds. They're back at middle. Get right gets picked, and they will be going short A. Here it goes. 35 seconds left. Deciding whether to fake smoke at mid. Instead, they will be pushing forward at mid. No, it is. They're faking me out here. Ninjas in Pyjamas with a crazy round. Completely playing mind games with TeamX, but here they go now. They will be committing to this mid push. And just Faflaren left. 1 versus 5. Not going to happen. Ace to the win with 15 seconds, and Faflaren will save the op for the last round of the the first half of the second overtime. And that will be that. Ninjas in Pyjamas does win that first round, but they're not able to win the second round. Let's check out their money. They will definitely be able to buy. Both teams able to buy on this last round of the first half of the second overtime of this epic game between Team Ninjas in Pyjamas and TeamX, both of them Swedish teams. Okay, we have a triple op play here. Faflaren, Friber, and Exist all opping at middle. Trying to kill that player through the door was not going to happen. Get right running over at B to make some noise. And Faflaren does finally get a pick. Triple opping there. Friber drops the op and picks up an AK-47. They had the money for it. That was smart. They bought a whole bunch of ops at middle, dropped them on the ground, and grabbed their AK-47s afterwards just because they had the money to try and spray down middle with ops as they tried to cross. So we had picks on either side. It's now a 4 versus 4, and Ninjas in Pyjamas. They could go anyway, you know, the way they've been playing. But it looks like they're setting up to take bomb site B. And here they go now. There's Lid inside of the doorway, waiting for these players to peek. And they will be able to sneak into the bomb site here quite safely. Friberg coming in from the other side. He is the distraction. Oh, but here comes the retake by these counter-terrorists. Forest and Exist inside of the site. Here come the counter-terrorists to retake this site. And bomb has not yet been planted. 30 seconds left. Probably not going to be able to plant this thing, but Exist will be going for it. And counter-terrorists do not peek in when he does so. So it is going to be Exist and Forest to hold this off. 2 versus 4. This is not an easy hold off, and it doesn't look good for Forest here. They are now all dead, and the bomb will be defused. TeamX will start this thing now. 2 points ahead, or 1 point ahead at 2 points to 1 against the Ninjas in Pyjamas. And we are moving into the second half of the second overtime. TeamX now leads it by 1 point. They need to win 2 more points to win this game, and teams will now switch once again. This is the game that never ends. Alright, here we go. Ninjas in Pyjamas back on CT side where they are strong. They have to win all 3 of these rounds to win this game. They have to completely win out here. Otherwise, they'll lose or push it into another overtime. But yeah, they have to win all 3 of those points. So Team X now back on the terrorist side, sending Pyth over to B to make some noise while the rest of them try to take middle. And there's no opper at middle to deal with this. So terrorists able to smoke there and then take middle. So they can go anywhere once again. We've seen the same setup every single round. And they can do anything. Team X started making the mistake on T side at the end of the actual game that was going on, not the overtimes, by pushing at certain positions and getting stuck and not having, you know, the gumption to push out there. And they have a whole bunch of players at short A. Python, a sneaky position. Oh, it does go down, though. Ninjas in Pyjamas have figured out all of their sneaky positions throughout the course of this game, and they're not able to use them now. TeamX has been hiding in some absolutely crazy positions throughout this game. Here is Faflaren to hold off at bomb site A. Terrace now pushing through there. Forrest back in his headshot position. Get right as well, taking players down. Ninjas in Pyjamas win it. It is now 2-2. Moving into the next game here. So Ninjas in Pyjamas have 2 rounds here to win it. There are 2 rounds left once again. Either team that wins both of them will win the game. Otherwise, we'll push it into yet again another overtime. And Ninjas in Pyjamas, they have Forrest here playing at CT spawn. The reason he plays here is he can watch middle if they decide to push through middle, and at the same time he can watch short A. But it will be a push here by these terrorists. These pushes have never worked out for them in this game. They will be pushing at long A, and they will get mowed down. So looking good for the Ninjas in Pyjamas at this point. Here comes Pronax through the smoke at short. Never run through smokes. Pyth, the last one left. 1 versus 3 does not look good for him. Looks very bleak, and he does go down. Ninjas in Pyjamas is now ahead. They now have to win 1 more point. We are on the last round here of the second overtime. Ninjas in Pyjamas, if they win it, they will win this game and knock out TeamX. TeamX, who has given them a huge run for their money there. TeamX needs to win this thing to push this into another overtime, but I don't know if my vocal cords can handle it. It is, on this last round, going to be an epic B push. No, never mind. They are going to be doing an around-the-world strategy, classic around the world. They send all these players lower B. We'll be going up and then taking A. They have the bomb. Actually, they will be doing a split at bomb site B. They have the bomb set up to take bomb site B. Here's Forrest at middle to hold this off. Terror is getting ready to push through here. They do not have Forrest inside of CT spawn. They're looking for him, but he's on the other side. Here comes Forrest mowing them down, taking down 2 players. Forrest is now down. This could be the last round. Only 1 player left, and 2 counter-terrorists left inside of CT spawn. 2 versus 1 match point for the game, for this epic game. Faflaren and Get Right going up against RDL, who does have the bomb inside of the site. RDL getting ready to plant this thing. Instead, we'll be waiting, making sure no counter-terrorists are coming up on him. Get Right and Faflaren haven't really made a move yet. They're waiting for him to plant the bomb. He could still sneak out of there and go lower B. That's why they're doing this. They're pretty much forcing RDL to plant that bomb before they make a move. RDL has to make the first move. 25 seconds left. RDL, 20 seconds left, is creeping down middle. What is he doing? And Get Right takes him down. That's the game. GG, Ninjas in Pyjamas wins. RDL, instead of planting that bomb, walks down middle. That was an incredibly poor decision, and TeamX will lose that thing. I don't know what he was trying to do, trying to get the drop on the Ninjas in Pyjamas. He didn't have enough time to go over to A. I don't know what was going on there. So that was an absolutely epic game. Went into the second overtime. But TeamX, who had a huge lead at the beginning of this thing, was so far ahead, lost their lead, sort of fell apart when they got onto the T side, and Ninjas in Pyjamas were able to put up the walls of defense that they are so famous for and win this game. Thank you folks very much for watching. I'm the WarOwl, and I still have no closer.